Hello, welcome back. So, in this part, we are going to discuss some design philosophy and design method that we are going to use in this course to design the concrete structures. Well, in the detail, I have discussed this design philosophy in my steel structure course. You can refer to the lecture 2. So, I will be discussing design philosophy here very briefly. So far, we will read this statement that design of a structure may be regarded as the process of selecting proper materials. So that we have seen in the previous lectures also, like when we are manufacturing concrete, we have to select proper materials like the aggregates, the cement, admixtures like that. So proper materials should be selected, and after that we need to proportion elements of the structure. So this proportioning of the elements of the structure is based on the magnitude of the load. So whatever load is coming in a particular member, we try to proportionate that member accordingly. So that is another aspect of the design. And according to the art, so on what basis we do that? We do that on the basis of an art, which is the art of structural design, engineering science, and the technology. So these are basically, uh, if I say this in summation, then we say that using the art of structural design, we can proportion elements of the structure. We can have the process of selecting proper materials through which we can classify the materials in different category. So based on the performance, we can select those materials. And we do that in order to fulfill its purpose. The structure must meet its condition of the safety, serviceability, economy, and the functionality. So these are the aspects that we try to cover it in our structural design. So there are some design methods that are being used to design the structures, and those methods are working stress method, ultimate load method, and the limit state method. Well, in our course, we will be covering this method, working stress method. Ultimate load method is the next development after the working stress method, and limit state method is the method which is more rational. And uh, nowadays most of the structures are designed using the limit state method. So limit state method will be discussed, I will be discussing in detail about it in the next course, next semester. If you want to know more about all three methods, you can refer to again the lecture 2. So there I have discussed all three methods in detail. So here in this course, I will be discussing about working stress method only. Well, working stress method is the oldest method of structural design, and that is why it is sometimes called traditional method of the design. And this working stress method is based on the elastic behavior of the material. So in this method, we assume that concrete and steel, they behave elastically. So in this method, the major assumption is that we assume that uh, concrete and steel, both of these materials, they behave elastically, which means we consider the strength of these material within the elastic limit only. So in this working stress method, the actual load or the working load on the building or on the structure are estimated, and members are proportioned on the basis of certain allowable or permissible stresses. So these permissible stresses are determined in the working stress method. We will see that how do we determine these permissible stresses in this method. And based on these allowable stress, we try to proportion the members of the elements using the value of the working load that we generally calculate on our structures. In this method, the stresses due to the action of load in the within the material are not allowed to exceed the permissible stresses which we generally calculate in this method. So how do we calculate these permissible stresses? We will see that in the next slide, like how do we calculate that. And the stresses which are generated within the material because of the action of the load, they should not be allowed to exceed the value of the allowable stresses. So these allowable stresses are based on the strength of material, and these allowable stress are basically the fraction of the strength of material, and stresses due to the load, these should not exceed these allowable stress. So that is the condition that we try to follow in this method. Although this method is not so popular in nowadays, and it is not used much in nowadays structure, but this method still find application in some of the important structures like the liquid retaining structures, like highway structures, chimney, because these structures require high degree of safety. So because of that, we use working stress method even nowadays in these type of special structures, but otherwise we use generally limit state method. So now we will see how do we find out permissible stresses within the material. Well, permissible stresses are sometimes called allowable stresses, or sometimes they are called working stresses. So because of this name, the method is called working stress method. So now there is a point, how do we find out this working stress? Well, working stress, as I said, working stress is basically the fraction of the strength of material. Say, for example, if we are using M25 grade concrete, so in this 25 is the maximum strength or limiting strength of the concrete. So to design the structure, we will not this much strength of this concrete. We will use a fraction of this strength. Say, for example, if we use one third of the strength, say 8 Newton per mm square. So this 8 Newton per mm square will becomes the working stress. So how do we find out this fraction of strength of the material? It depends on a factor which is called factor of safety. So we will see that. So as I said earlier also, the stresses in the material, sorry. So as I said earlier, the stresses in material, they are not allowed to exceed beyond their permissible value. So permissible value, as I just mentioned, this working stress. So stresses within the material should not be allowed to exceed from the working stress. And how do we find out working stress or permissible stress within the material? We find out that using this formula. Permissible stress will be the fraction will be the ratio of limiting strength to the factor of safety. Limiting strength is the strength of material, and factor of safety is dependent on the how much factor of safety we are using, that depends on the quality of material also, and how much degree of safety is required, that also depends on the factor of safety. So in IS code, the factor of safety for material is defined. So we will see that. So first we will see limiting strength. So as in our reinforced concrete, there are two materials that we use. One is the steel and the other is the concrete. So in case of steel reinforcement, the limiting strength is either the yield strength if we are using Fe 250 grade or mild steel bar. In that case, we will consider the yield strength, or if we are using high strength bar, in that case, we will use 0.2% proof stress. As I discussed in the previous part, how do we find out strength of a bar using this 0.2% proof stress? So corresponding to this stress, the value will be the yield strength of that high strength bar. So based on that, we try to find out the limiting strength of the steel. Similarly, for concrete, the limiting strength of the concrete will be crushing strength or 28 days characteristic strength of the concrete, and generally we denote that with FCK. So FCK is the 28 days strength of the concrete. Say for example, in case of M25 grade concrete, FCK value will be 25 Newton per mm square. Similarly, for grade of steel, say if we are using Fe 250 grade of steel, in that case, the value of Fy will be 250 Newton per mm square. So this Fy will be the limiting strength of steel, and this FCK will be the limiting strength for the concrete. Now we will talk about the factor of safety. How do we find out this factor of safety? Well, this value is again mentioned in the IS code indirectly, but I am showing you that how do we, what is this value? For steel, the factor of safety is approximately 1.82. Factor of safety is approximately 1.82, and therefore now if we try to find out the permissible tensile stress in the steel or working stress in the steel, we can easily calculate that. Say this is the Fy value. I am trying to find out the working stress. So working stress will be the ratio of limiting strength of the steel divided by the factor of safety, and this factor of safety is approximately 1.82 in working stress method. So this value will become 0.55 times of Fy. This working stress is denoted by sigma St. So sigma St will be the working stress for steel, and this working stress for steel will be 0.55 times of Fy. So if we replace Fy with 250, we will get the value for ms bar. If we replace Fy with 415, we will get the value of sigma St for the high strength bar. So this is how we can calculate the working stress value or permissible stress value for the working stress method for the steel. Similarly, if we try to find out the working stress for concrete, so for that also we need a safety factor like this. So this safety factor is for the steel. We need to have safety factor for concrete also. So there you can see for concrete, the factor of safety is higher than the steel. Why? Well, we use less safety factor in case of steel because the manufacturing of steel, the quality control of steel is good, and we can trust on the strength of steel. But in case of concrete, the strength of concrete is affected by many factors like the curing, like the proportion of the material, the ingredients of the material, their further property. So those process affect the concrete strength, and because of that, the quality control of the concrete, maintaining the quality control of the concrete is a little difficult, and because of that we take high factor of safety, which means we are taking low fractional strength of the concrete. So because of that, factor of safety of concrete for different application of load is different. Say factor of safety for flexural compression in concrete is approximately 3, and hence the permissible compressive stress in concrete in flexural compression is, well, we denote flexural compression in concrete by sigma CBC. So sigma CBC will be FCK. FCK is the strength of concrete, limiting strength of concrete, and divided by this 3. So this becomes 0.333 FCK. So that becomes the sigma CBC. So this FCK for M25 grade concrete will be 25. For M20 grade, it will be 20. This FCK value for M30 grade of concrete, this will be 30. So whatever grade of concrete we have, we can easily calculate the value of sigma CBC by multiplying this 0.333. So this sigma CBC is used as a permissible stress for concrete, and this sigma st is used as a permissible stress for the steel. So in our working stress method, whatever stress in our material is, it should not exceed the value of sigma st and sigma cbc. In case if there is a flexural compression, well, there is this new term flexural compression. We need to understand what is flexural compression or flexural tension. Say this is a body, and if it is allowed to stretch, this will become axial tension. Or if we try to compress it, this will become axial compression. Okay. Now, if we try to bend it, if we try to apply force like this will bend like this. In the lower region, there will be tension. In the upper region, there will be compression. So because of this load, this compression and this tension both are occurring. So this compression will be called flexural compression, because this compression is occurred because of the bending of the material. So flexural compression, and this tension because of the bending of the material will be called flexural tension. So this flexural, in case of flexural compression, the safety factor will be 3. So this is how I have calculated the value of sigma CBC. So maybe for direct compression or axial compression, this safety factor will be around 4. So based on the application of the load or the behavior of the load, the value of factor of safety may be different for the concrete. So value of permissible stresses in IS code for the concrete and for the steel is directly given. So there in the table you can see, if we refer to the IS code, this IS code. So if we refer to table 21, so there we can see there are different grades of concrete is given for M15 and permissible stress in compression. Now compression is flexural compression and direct compression or axial compression. So direct we can call it axial, and for bending we can call it flexural. So generally in case of beam design, we generally use sigma CBC, and in case of say column design we generally use direct axial compression, because in that case the stress will be direct. So in that case this becomes sigma CC. Similarly, permissible stress in bond, if we try to find out the bond strength in the bars, then this is called tau BD. So for plain bars, this is the value of tau BD. In case if we are using HYSD bar or high strength bar, this strength can be increased by 60%. So we will see that in the later stage. For the time being, we will the important part will be this sigma CBC. Similarly, this is the table for the concrete of permissible stresses. There is a table for steel also. So this is again as per IS code. If we refer to the table 22, table 22 of the IS code, so this table we can find out there. So there you can see tension sigma. If the steel is in the tension, we can denote that using sigma ST if we are using the tension bars in the beam, or sigma SS if we are using in the column. So it says up to the diameter of 20 mm, the value of permissible stress for mild steel will be 140. So this is again calculated using the sigma ST, that formula 0.55 times of Fy. So this value up to 20 mm dia this value will be 140, and this value will be further decreased if the diameter of the bar is more than 20 mm. Why? Because why we are taking less value? Because sometimes in the manufacturing of bars there may be some air bubbles. So because of that air bubble, the strength of bar may be less, and that is why we take the lesser value of the mild steel bar. But in case of high strength bar that we use nowadays, which is say Fe415, in this case Fy value will be 415. So normally nowadays we use these bar, and in this bar the value of permissible stress value of the steel will be 230, and if it is less than 20 or more than 20 it will be same. Why? Because the quality control and the manufacturing process is more refined than the mild steel bar. So that is why we take lesser value in this, but the same value in both of these, because the quality control is good in this type of bar. Similarly, if there are compressive stress within the column, in that case we denote that by sigma SC. Sigma ST means permissible stress in tension, sigma SC means permissible stress in compression. So generally sigma SC value we use in column. For mild steel bar this will be 130, and for deformed bar, for high strength bar, it will be 190. So these values we generally use when we will be designing the structures. We will be designing the columns, beams. Although in this course we will be designing only the beams, so these two values will matter more in this course. And in the next course we will be designing column also. So in that we will be using these values. So this was the discussion about the RC design. We will continue this discussion in the next lecture also. So now onwards we will be dealing in the design concepts only, and we will be designing the structural elements. So this is the start of our basics of RC. So in the next lecture we will be discussing in this in more detail with some different concepts. So in this lecture we have discussed the elastic properties of the concrete, and we have seen how complicated this property is. We have seen the stress strain curve of the concrete, which is non-linear and non-elastic. We have also seen how do we find out Young's modulus of elasticity of concrete as per the formula given by the IS code. And concrete is weak in tension. That is why we use reinforced concrete. In short, it is called RC. So reinforced concrete is used in the design of concrete structures. And in this course, we are going to use WSM, which is working stress method, which is the traditional method of design, and that will be used in this course. And we have seen the concept of permissible stress that is being followed in this method, and how do we find out permissible stress, and how do we determine the value of permissible stress using the strength of material. We can see, we have seen that. So that was a summary of this lecture. So these are the references that I have used to prepare this lecture. Thank you.